Okay, so this is what we're going to have for the next move. If you are a lash fan, we have some things going on for you today. We're going to teach lasting lips. So you'll want to have your eye and lip primer out, have your dual pressed powder out, have your camouflage brush out, your lip color or lip colors of choice. Now let's talk about formulas. So the bottom formula, the one that's in a square package, that's considered our matte liquid lipstick. For those of you who say that your lipstick doesn't stay on, you don't like it sticky, you don't want to get in the car and have the wind blow and have like a gloss streak going up your cheek from your hair. For those of you whose mate does not like to get glossy and sparkly when you smooch them, okay, you guys are going to love the matte liquid lipsticks. There's a ton of different shades varying from Babe, which is our top seller and is more of like a nude. It literally performs different on everyone depending on your own chemistry. And some people looks really like brown nude, some looks pinky nude. So we have anything from nude shades all the way into like hot pink, vibrant purple. We have reds, we have all different shades. So if you are someone who needs long wear and you don't want to be sticky, that's your formula. The formula right above that, that's called a lip lacquer. Now, special story with lacquers is they're extremely high pigment, so they can stay on for multiple hours. If you just put it on and leave it as is, it's got shine factor to it. It does have a little bit of like moisture factor. That's why it's called a lacquer. Kind of reminds you of like the lacquer on a car, like fresh paint, right? If you blot with a tissue after applying a lip lacquer, because they're so high pigment, it turns into a lip stain. So it's transfer resistant. It won't get on your person when you smooch them or your kids or whatever. Won't transfer onto wine glasses, etc. And it stays on for like hours and hours. So you have options with that second formula from the bottom of whether you want to wear it with the wet look or if you want to blot it for long wear and transfer resistance. The bottom one that has like the square packaging, I feel like I call it like a drier formula. It's a matte. The one right above it is a lacquer. And that one has a little bit more wetness to it, but you can blot it to make it a stain. We did just launch the brand new gloss for spring. So if you're a gloss girl, we've got you covered with Lovely from the spring lineup. And those are your lip options. Big question that always comes up is, how do I do my lip primer? Where does the lip primer go? How does it work? Does anyone have that question? Sarah Dunn, can you be my model? Come on up. Okay, cool. Give Sarah a round of applause. Thank you, girlfriend. We're going to open our vanilla eye and lip primer. Have a camouflage brush ready. We're going to load this up. All right, here's your goal. I'm taking my brush and I'm doing pretty much like an outline of her entire lip. And I am crossing over onto the lip a little bit, but not filling the whole thing in. So you're basically wanting to outline the entire lip zone. Now, 2 reasons behind this. Reason number 1, when it comes to like modeling and casting and like the traditional features that they used to look for, casting agencies, modeling agencies, what they were looking for is wide set eyes and a wide set mouth. What you can kind of count on highlighting or lighter colors for is they make things look bigger. So like this morning when I was working on Pisce's eyes and I added a little bit of like the primer to her eyelid, what happened to the eyelid? It popped and it looked bigger, right? So if you're outlining your lip line, especially out here, you're making it look wider and bigger and you're drawing attention to that zone. So notice I didn't fill in the entire lip. It's just that I'm outlining her lip line and going a little bit around it so that I'm getting like a highlight all the way around the mouth. And then I'm blending it in a little bit with my brush. So just kind of feather it in with the surrounding skin. Next, we're going to set that with our pressed powder. Many times what women say is, I'm afraid to wear bright colors because when I wear them, I end up getting creasing, feathering, transferring, it moves, it spreads, it's a mess. Does anyone else feel that? I had the same thing and would not even wear bright colors until probably the last few years until I finally figured the stupid trick out. So you're going to prime with your vanilla primer, and then you're going to take some powder and pack press. So you're pushing powder into the primer. So the two reasons that you're doing this is one, you're getting a highlight, like a subtle highlight, making the mouth look wider. And two, having the primer plus powder gives you like the perfect canvas to apply a lip color onto so that it doesn't spread. One of the biggest reasons that lip colors spread is your own oil production of your skin. It mixes with the lip color. And then as you're smiling and moving and talking and all the things, and you get expression lines, the oil plus the lip color travels out your lines. So if you prime first and then really mattify, you have less chance of oil from your skin mixing with your lip color and bleeding out. Yesterday morning I did this protocol just because I was testing it on myself, and I often do this. I'll just go, what am I teaching tomorrow? I'm going to do it. So the makeup that I wore yesterday was exactly what you're learning today. I did my lips at 10 a.m., sitting on the couch talking to my dad, and I refreshed them once, and they were on until probably 8 p.m. through dinner. So if you use this protocol, it can totally stay on all day long, through meals too. So keep note of that. Going into the actual lip color, this is our top seller from our brand. It's called Babe. Babe and Redeemed are like my favorite. They're the best. Okay, so here's the thing. I learned this doing, again, like New York Fashion Week makeup, where we're doing 30 shows in a week. You have 10 minutes with each model. You learn how to do speed tricks. So the speed trick for lips is that you start in the outer corner. You're going to open your mouth just slightly so that you can make sure that you get all the way into the corner. I kind of put my fingertip here to hold my lip in place. You start in the outer corner and draw towards the center. You're done with one side. You're going to go over here. Make sure that you get all the way into the corner, outer corner, into the center. Your lip line is done. You're going to fill it in. Now, anything that you have extra on this bottom lip, go ahead and just press your top and bottom lip together. Bam. Now you've effectively filled in the whole inner part of the top lip, and you just have to crisp out the lip line. So again, always work from your outer corner towards the center. It's funny, sometimes I watch girls do their lips and they start on one side and they travel all the way across and they end up with this side way higher because of the angle. So whether you're working on top or bottom, you're going to start at the outer corner, move towards the center, crisp it out, outer corner, move towards the center, make your line nice and sharp. Done. So go ahead and do that and raise your hand when you've got those moves done, because I'm going to show you some symmetry tricks and some cleanup tricks. Great question. Peggy asked, what if I want to use a lacquer? Okay, you can totally use a lacquer which that's what I've got in my hand, is the Redeemed Lacquer. You can start with a lacquer. I typically, if I need super longwear lips, I start with the square container, which is a matte. I'll blot, I'll like perfect the whole look, I'll blot and then go into a lacquer. But some days I just want like lacquer, and you can just use lacquer by itself. For longwear though, it works better to go matte, then lacquer. Make sense? Both can be worn on their own. All right, ladies, let's move into symmetry. So when you're checking symmetry, remember earlier today I was saying that one side of most people's mouth is either higher or lower than the other. There's a trick to kind of take a look and fix it. You ready for it? Hashtag model tricks. All right, what you're going to do is pop your chin way up and look in your mirror and see if one side of your lip dips down lower and the other one goes higher. Can you see it on this side? It goes higher than lower. Can you see it? Okay, so we're going to even it out. Specifically right here, I'm going to add a little bit more fullness so that she's even all the way across. So I'm going to take my lip color and just add a little bit more plumping right there. If you have never overdrawn or overlined your lips before, it's going to feel really unnatural the first time or two that you do this. It's going to be like, oh, that's not where my lip is. But just trust yourself and give it a go. So with your chin lifted up in the air, you want to look and see if one side of your lip dips lower or one is higher, and you want to make it even. So on Sarah, this side needed a little bit more filling in because it was kind of going up. So I filled it in to try to make it more even. Then check your top line symmetry. Sometimes when you put on your lip color, you'll have one peak that goes higher than the other. Sarah's looks great. One thing that you can do for fullness added is you can fill in this little V section right here and make it more like a U. And that softens the whole look and makes it look a little bit more full. If you're wearing a darker color, sometimes it can look a little vampy if your peaks are really sharp. So I'll soften out that to make it look not so, I'm gonna eat you with a knife. We're gonna blot. Reason for this is I personally hate it when I get lipstick on my teeth. So when you blot, go ahead and open your mouth a smidge and press your lips into the tissue. You're gonna see a little bit. You're getting everything off that could have transferred onto your smile, okay? So keep it off your pearly whites. Next amazing thing about that is it drives the pigment from your matte liquid lipstick into your skin for a firm lock and a firm hold. On days when I'm not going to pair and put like a lacquer on top, this will stay on literally for hours and hours and hours and hours. So your mattes are going to stay on like forever. If you do like that sheen, if you like a little bit of gloss, you can pop a lacquer on top. I'm popping in Redeemed, one of my favorite nudes on the planet. And I'm mostly keeping it in the center of the lip. So anywhere that you see texture, like if your lip looks dry or you need a little bit more hydration, you're going to pop it there. So center of the lip, top and bottom, and then just pop them together like this, and you're good. Did anyone else notice that like your smile looks like it's wider now? by using the vanilla primer. Mel's big feedback was it looks like her mouth is taking up more of her real estate. That primer makes a huge difference. I think what's appropriate is because your whole look today is polished, corporate, natural, and nude, you can absolutely get away with wearing a vibrant color, and this is the look to wear it with. 100%. So what you guys are wearing today is what I'm wearing today. It looks different on everyone, and your lip is the thing that changes the whole look. So kind of take a look around the people to your left and right and notice, how does their complexion look? Check out their lip color selection, and the lip color selection is really what changes it up. Can you see that?
It's kind of like a statement shoe.
Yeah, it's like a statement shoe. Sarah Dunn just said it's like a statement shoe. Specifically because, like, here's a fun thing about lippies is if you want to go more vibrant, you can totally take the color that you've got on right now. I do this all the time. Like, if I wear a bright color in the morning and then I want to switch in the afternoon, take your makeup remover, wipe it all off, reprime, repowder, clean slate. So you can change your lip color in like 5 minutes. Versus like when I was younger, and maybe you've had this experience, you go to wipe off the lip color and it just looks like a clown. It just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Scary. Versus take it off with makeup remover, reprime, repowder, clean slate, good to go. Okay, so we've got the symmetry deal going on. Let's talk about cleaning it up and doing some highlight. So highlighter, we were talking about sugar cakes or sugar crush. If you retrace what's called the Cupid's bow, which is that V on top and then going down the side of the lip a little bit, your boundaries are the nostrils. So you don't want to go further than like the nostril on each side. If you take your highlighter all the way down, it's going to look like the milk mustache from Got Milk in the 90s. So you don't want to do that, right? But adding that little bit of highlight up here is going to make that top lip pop forward and look larger, which is fabulous. And the question came up about, what about cleanup? So we're wearing these really vibrant, deep, or purples, or wine colors. And if you don't get that really crisp line, it can be like, oh gosh, what do I do to fix this? Is anyone in that spot right now? All right, let's fix it. You can take your lip primer, reload your brush, and I'm going to have you treat it like it's a little magical eraser. So remember this morning when we were talking about taking this brush and getting it like really, really a nice point? So this is the wide part, and get it to a nice crisp point, like a little sharp pencil. You see it? Okay, so literally I want you to think about this like a pencil, and we're going to crisp out the line. So if I had messed up somewhere and it looked like strange, I'm just going to go in and erase. Just erase. And you'll use, I would go with like a pretty small brush, like maybe your precision crease, make sure it's super clean, or your brow liner brush, super clean, and just repowder it. Does that make sense? Primer, then powder. So your primer is like your little cleanup guy. It's your little magic eraser. And wherever you have primer, you've got to make sure it's dry, so you'll set a little powder on top. Nothing's ever too late to be saved. Always remember that. A smaller precision brush is going to be better for this so that you don't like overlap onto the lip. So I'll be going in with my brow liner brush, and I'm just going to make sure that my primer is no longer wet. Make sense? Great. Give Miss Sarah a round of applause. Now, in the media industry, we do something called last looks. And I would highly recommend, as someone who's at home preparing for your day, I want you to keep those words in your head. Last looks. So last looks, when they say the devil's in the details, it's true. So take a minute, give yourself the last looks, make sure that you love what you see. Make sure that from side to side, turn your head left to right. Make sure that you're fully blended. Make sure that your lip line is what you want it to be. So if it is your desire, if it appeals to you to have false lashes put on, they will absolutely pop your lashes on for you.